Yes, sir.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, we're just starting the regular meeting.
Okay.
All right, roll call. This meeting is now called to order. We got Trustee Brooks present on the phone. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden. Trustee Fulcher.
Present.
Trustee Thompson.
Present.
Trustee Williams.
Here.
Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Mayor Rudez.
I am here, Madam Clerk. Thank you so much. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes? Moved by Trustee Lewis. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we got a second. We got a motion by Lewis and a second by Brooks. This is for the minutes. Questions, anyone? Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden. Trustee Fulcher.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye, Madam Clerk. Are there any general public comments regarding the agenda items? If not, we'll circle back and see you guys down the end. We're going to go to item F2. Are there any items that the board would like to have removed?
Yes, sir, Mayor.
Okay.
F2A, because I asked for the annexing and rezoning to be separate agenda items.
Okay, so you want to remove item F2A,
Yes.
and the reason being? Okay. All right.
And also F2E.
F2B?
E.
E?
E as in Edward E.
Okay, so if there's nothing else, then the consent agenda would consist of items F2B, F2C, and F2D. Is there a motion?
Well, okay.
1 second, sir.
She's saying remove F2E.
She's not going to consider F2A and F2E, and we'll do items F2B, F2C, and F2D as one, as a consent agenda, and then
Okay.
we'll come back and address those other items that she asked to be removed, not as a part of the consent agenda. Okey doke. All right, roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Got to get a motion in a second.
I need a motion and a second for items F2B and F2C and F2D. Moved by Lewis, second by Thompson. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. This is to approve the rest of the consent agenda. Okay. Trustee McFadden. Trustee Fulcher.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Aye.
Mayor Rudez.
Votes aye, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for
Excuse me, 1 second, Trustee. Would you just speak into the mic for please?
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. I would like to make a motion for F2B to include,
Wait a minute, 1 second. I'm hearing you saying B, and I hear my attorney saying A.
no, B, F2B.
It's approved.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. But I need to make an amendment on there because I think it's some PIN numbers that need to be added.
All right.
No, I've corrected the PIN numbers.
Oh, okay.
So item F2A
Okay.
is the one that we're discussing now.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk, for
So
the
I'm
correction.
asking for a motion and a second.
A motion and a second for.
This is first, second, and third reading an ordinance annexation and rezoning of property located at 23441 South Cicero Avenue, University Park, PIN 2114-04-200-000. Is there a motion?
So moved.
And is there a second?
Wait a minute. Who made the motion?
Lewis made the motion. McFadden made the second. We want to make sure we get this right, guys.
Wait. For
Point of
item,
inquiry, Mayor, are we
for
just
item
making a correction
F2B,
on the
Madam
PIN
Clerk,
number?
there's some digits missing.
Yeah,
I have, no,
Wait,
I
one-
have
one-
corrected.
one second, Trustee Brooks. Let me hear what you say, Trustee Brooks?
Yeah, were you just making a correction on the PIN number? 'Cause I thought
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, I
It's
just
some
want to make
digits
sure.
missing.
Thank you, sir.
There's two,
It's two.
and it was on the September 11th. I just want to make sure that second one is correct and included.
Right.
I did correct them all with that.
Can I read it
So,
out?
yeah, Liz, go ahead.
21-14-200-010-00000. The second PIN is 21-14-200-010-0009, and this was reflected at the September 11th meeting. No, that is for F1A that we're discussing now.
Can you repeat the number? I'm sorry. 21.
21-14-04-200-010-0000, and the second PIN is 21-14-04-200-010-0009. Yes.
That's 2FA. F2A. Those are the
Right.
PIN numbers.
F2A.
Manager Scott, could you send that to me? Because I looked at all the documents, that's when I
Yes,
thought I
ma'am. Will
corrected
do.
them. And I did not find those pin
Yes.
numbers.
Yep, now we're on item F2A, first and second. Trustee?
I had asked twice, I think, for these two, for this agenda item to be separated, because part of it deals with annexation and part of it deals with rezoning. So, those are two separate concerns. And, I think the zoning that was discussed before was for industrial. If we had mixed use, then we wouldn't be limited, if we had mixed-use zoning. So, I had asked for this to be separated, and, that's my discussion.
Okay, so we didn't get a motion in a second and enough people to move it on to have it separated.
What was said at the last meeting.
Okay, so now you got an opportunity now to make a motion if you get a second.
So I make a motion that item F2A would, be separated as far as annexation and rezoning. Yes, two separate agenda items.
So is there a second?
Wait, can you hold that 1 second? Got you.
And Trustee, if you don't mind me asking, what's the purpose of that?
I do mind you asking, but since you asked, I will tell you because it's two separate items. It's two separate items, so I'm all for annexation.
Okay.
But if we rezone it just industrial, that means, I don't know what you have to go through to unzone it, to change the zoning.
Understand.
So if it's multi-use zoning, you can still use it for industrial and commercial and whatever else you want to use it for.
Well, okay.
So the only, I don't know because I haven't been going to the zoning board meetings, but with the zoning boards, like typically their findings are final. So I don't know if that's something that, now you have a right to say if you want to,
Oppose it or?
but, right, if you don't want to vote against it. I just don't know what the impact is of separating it. That's the concern I have. Making it two separate
And Attorney
motions.
Frazier, it was all considered as one through the planning commission. Through the whole process, it was one package, so.
Yeah, I don't,
Yeah. But trustee has her right to have her opinion, so let's see what the majority does, and let's keep it moving.
I'm just saying legally, and that's something that I would definitely have to discuss with, like John Murphy. I just don't know that that is possible, and the impact of that, I think it completely changes what they're trying to do.
Do we have the ability to discuss it or bring it back to the planning commission?
Has it gone to the planning commission?
It did.
Did it pass?
Yes.
Well, the planning commission is,
It was recommended for them to.
right, and they're a recommending body, and so the planning commission, of course, they come and they make their recommendations, but zoning is different, so I don't know if it looked like you were about to say something.
I did want to have who was about to comment? Comment. I did attend this planning commission meeting, and I see the chairs there. The chair did acknowledge and say that these are two separate things, annexation and rezoning, and that they cannot, it was based off of first whether or not we do the annexation. So she did state that these are two separate things. And the annexation has nothing to do with the planning commission. The rezoning has something to do with the planning commission. So even though it was approved, it was based off of whether or not we annex it. So that's why the separation, I understand what Trustee Thompson is saying, why it should be separated.
So understood, instead of all the back and forth debate, let's take a motion in a second for a roll call, and let's move on and do the business of the village, because we've proceeded so far without separation. We've wasted a lot of time. We've had legal notices. We've gone back and forth over and over again. It is time to do business. So whatever the pleasure of the board is, and I understand what you're saying, Donna.
Yeah, and you have a motion
Can I please
on the
just add
floor.
something?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we got a motion in a second.
Okay. It was always my understanding that things such as variances, zoning, that is not up to the board, respectfully, that, and likewise, annexation cannot be done by the planning commission. So there's certain things that this board can vote on and certain things that are under the purview of the planning commission, and this is one of them. Zoning, from my understanding, and we can confirm with Murphy, but zoning is only approved by the planning commission. And I know
But the zoning,
that the chair is here, and if she wants to confirm what I'm saying, but that was always my understanding, and I'm not sure if the board is aware of that, but that was always my understanding. Mrs. Martin?
It's here for a vote, though.
But it still has to come to the board to vote on it, even though the planning commission.
On annexation, yeah.
No, on both,
Okay.
on the zoning.
okay, so right now you have a motion on the floor. You have a first and a second for what, F2A, so.
Item F2A. So let's take the roll call, and let's do the vote, and let's keep it moving. Vote it up or down. We need
No,
to move.
the motion that Trustee Thompson had put in place was to separate, right, Trustee Thompson? It-
Yes.
But that's when Attorney said that it,
But you just had a motion and a second now, if you're saying that you would like to, with respect to this particular motion, you want to separate it and see but I don't, like I said, I don't even know that that's proper to do, because you're completely impacting the purpose of this particular motion and what this is seeking to do at 23441 South Cicero. So my thought is either you're going to vote it up or you're going to vote it down. If you don't, just to see what it is that, either you want to approve it or you don't. But you're completely impacting the dynamics if you're trying to, because that's the purpose of this being together. So now you're completely impacting the dynamic of it. So that's my, thought.
Point of clarification, Mayor.
go ahead, Trustee Brooks.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm hearing the right debate, and that is on F2A as an Adam. Is that the north end where there was an annex, and then I guess there was a question of the zoning?
No, that's item, yeah.
F2A.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, and if I heard Attorney Frazier correctly, the recommendation that was set forth from the Planning Commission, is that the way we're supposed to vote, or was it, I think I heard Trustee Fulcher say that the board can vote separate on the zoning. Am I hearing that correctly?
Well, what I'm saying is that at the Planning Commission, which is the chair has stated and the rest of the committee commissioners stated, that this was brought to them, when this agenda item was brought to them, it was put in the cart before the horse. So first, the annexation should have came to the board first. After that, it's been annexed, then it should have went to the Planning Commission for them to vote on the rezoning.
Okay, I do remember that
So,
statement, and I do remember that being
It should have
said
been
before.
separated. It should have been sent to us first, annexation, like we're doing right now with the other agenda items, and then it's supposed to go to the Planning Commission for the rezoning part. And if that's, I know Chairperson is back there, but I believe that's what was stated.
So,
Why don't you let her?
So one thing, and we just want to keep it moving because we've been dealing with this for an extended period of time. But one thing I know for sure, and we're going to use the grant as an example. When you apply for a grant, you can't use that money, anything outside of that grant. It's the same thing as this. There was a public notice that was a requirement that had to stand in the newspaper for X amount of period of days. All of a sudden, you cannot change what the public notice was put out there as. So we have to proceed as far as Attorney Frazier was saying, either you voted up or down, but you cannot vary from what the public notice was out there.
That's true, that's exactly
And that's,
when
that
I
was
was
my
on
But
point.
the
You've
public
completely
notice was-
changing the
That's
impact of
exactly,
it. So-
once it's public, then.
So now I'm going to
Which
ask for a
is
I'm
understandable.
going to ask for a point of order, and I'm going to ask for a roll call vote, and just keep it moving. Roll call, please, Madam Clerk. Yeah. No.
No.
Roll call, Madam Clerk, please.
Trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden. Both sides. Trustee Fulcher,
Votes no.
Trustee Thompson,
Votes no.
Trustee Williams. Both sides. Trustee Brooks,
And this is for what, Madam Clerk? I heard
To
him call for the
approve.
point of order.
to approve it as listed on the agenda.
Votes no.
Mayor Rudez.
Vote time, Madam Clerk.
Okay, that was F2A. Mr. Mayor, that's ordinance O 2024-12.
All right, and the other item that was asked to be looked at was item F2E, Trustee Thompson, and that was a motion authorizing the renewal of a contractual agreement with Leslie Barry as a human resources consultant.
Yes, I had a few more questions to ask her about her rate increase. So she's not here to answer the questions. So can we table this until she can answer the questions?
If you have a motion and enough votes to table it, you do. If you don't, we'll just do the same
Okay,
as we
so
did.
I make a motion that we table the contract for Leslie Berries as human resources consultant until till we can ask some more questions.
Table for more info.
There's a motion on the floor.
This
For
was,
more- for more-
I'm sorry,
for
this
more-
was
for
about
more
her
questions?
increase, her raise.
I thought she went through an extensive.
I thought she, Trustee Brooks asked her, and she went through a thorough list of all the things she did.
Trustee Wentz, I'm sorry, before we go to comment, there's a motion, we need a second, and then we can open up for
That
conversation.
was the motion to table.
That was a motion to table. There was no motion. There's not a second.
Second.
All right. Roll call. This is a motion
To table.
to table.
Okay. Trustee,
No, we don't need. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis,
Votes no.
Trustee McFadden. Trustee Fulcher,
Votes aye.
Trustee Thompson,
Votes aye.
Trustee Williams,
Votes no.
Trustee Brooks. This is to table this item for more information.
For Trustee Thompson, right?
No, this is on the renewal of a contractual agreement with Leslie Berry.
Okay, vote tie.
Mayor Rudis.
Votes no to table.
Motion to table failed.
Roll call on the original motion now, Madam Clerk.
No, I still have,
Oh, okay.
I want to make some statements. So I was the same, still had questions, not to say questions, but based off of Ms. Berry's responses from the CAL meeting, first of all, she stated on her contract, it states the exact same things that she had last year. So it's the exact same thing, but she's asking for more than a 60% increase. When asked why did she put the why did she have that original amount of $3,250? I think that's the amount of her original contract. She just said, "Oh, because I lowballed it, and I just gave a low price amount." She was asking for, and to me, as an HR consultant, it is important. She should know is how important it is to state whatever salary or pay rate or whatever that you want, but for you to say that you were willing to do the job for $3,250, you did it for 8 months or a year or however long she had her contract, but now you're asking for over 60% increase. She just did her job, just like the rest of the employees here in University Park that's working. They sometimes do above and beyond some of the things that they're doing, and they're not coming here saying, well, I did this and I think I deserve a 60% raise. So you did the job before for that amount. Actually, all the stuff that was on your contract that you stated is actually less now because some of the things were done. So I don't see why we are paying her any additional money to do less, nor do I see why we would have to pay her any additional money to, especially when that's the amount that she asked for originally. And that's what she did the job. So if you end up doing more stuff, or you just felt like, oh my goodness, I deserve more, that's fine to ask for that. But there's other residents here, employees and workers here that feel the exact same way, that they've done above and beyond, and we can't just be expecting all contract consultants, contractors, employees to actually come and say, I did more and I deserve a 50% increase. So that's my statement.
I got
Okay,
you.
I like to speak.
Go ahead, Trustee.
Okay.
My statement was to the entire, so as for like a total response, not really needed, but if you have a response in regards to what you want to say, that's fine, but I don't need a response to what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't matter. I'm going to respond because I totally disagree. I think she did come in at a lower price, not knowing what she was getting into. And anybody that comes to this village, it is HELL to pay. It was a lot of work that lady had to do. I was on the phone with her quite a few times. I know the work that she put in. I know the things that were happening. And when we talk about employees, there were a lot of employees that gave themselves raises, bonuses, ongoing pay that did not have it coming, that wasn't even on the union scale. And this lady uncovered a lot of things and did a lot of work and made sure that we're running a tight ship now. She has an excellent, excellent background. The new book that she'll be giving us, something we haven't had since Smith Corona typewriters, she deserves everything that she's asking for and then some. So I'm going to definitely back her because I know what she's going through, just as our village manager has gone through. This place right here was no joke. And the things that have gone on and the things that she had to do to get us right, I feel she deserves it and then some.
I second that. That's because she, that employee handbook was not an easy task for her to bring it from 1982 to 2024. There was a lot she had to do to bring it compliant with the Ask Me. She's done over the work. She's worked on Saturdays. She's worked on Sundays to bring employees to this village. She lowballed in the beginning, but she didn't expect the work that we had to do. She had to clean up a lot of stuff that was done that's been for the decades that's been going on in this village. So I'm for Leslie Berry.
Everybody I respect everybody's opinion, and I'm not saying that she shouldn't be here. I just don't see where an increase when, based off of your contract, these are all the things on your contract, which is the employee handbook, which is the manual, all of that was on your original contract that you're supposed to do.
But
So
every year
when you-
contracts change every year.
But I understand contracts
year.
But she,
change.
over and above
I
that
understand.
contract.
Well, see, you all
Over
say.
and above, over and above.
Well, hold on. I'm just saying, everybody say.
Let's hold on. Let's everybody speak in proper terms because we all can't talk and hear everybody. So let's one speak at a time. Let's move this meeting off. Donna, Trustee Fulcher, please finish. Then we'll go to Manager Scott and let's move on.
As was stated, you all are stating all the stuff that she has done. I don't know what all she's done. You all are in the office. Maybe you talk to her and y'all meet with her and do all this stuff. But as for things me physically seeing, I still haven't seen employee, these are the things that I've asked for. Employee handbook, different things like that. Some job descriptions, I haven't seen them. So as for you all saying all the stuff she has done, she has. She broke down a lot of different things she's done, but these are all the things that's in her contract. So I'm just stating, just as for putting it out there for everybody, just as consultants, contractors, employees, if you are paid to do a job and you do the job, great. Okay, you can maybe get a percent increase, but over 60% of an increase, I just don't see it.
I
So-
just wanted to make a
Go ahead,
couple
Manager Scott.
statements of things that were not mentioned, and not to go back and forth, but just to say that no one's coming here for $30-some thousand a year. That's how much she was being paid. That position was, I was told when I got here, it was a part-time position. There is no way that HR is a part-time position, especially in this community. Let me also say that a lot of people know that work in municipalities. Human resources is the foundation for any successful municipality. So why anyone would think that someone would come here and deal with this for 30, she was making 39,000, no one's coming for that. And she quickly realized it was not part-time, because that's what we sold her on, that it was a part-time position. Leslie probably works 6 to 7 days a week, no exaggeration. I talk to her just about every day, multiple times a day. Not only that, when you talk about litigation and lawsuits, I definitely credit her with a big reason why. If you look at current lawsuits we've had since I've been here and since Ms. Berry has been here, it's gone down considerably when you look at years past. I'm closing out a lot of litigation, which everyone received packets updated. You don't see a whole lot of new litigation. And when you have a good HR foundation, it prevents a lot of exposure to the village. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there and have everyone keep that in mind. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, may I be recognized?
Go ahead, Trustee.
Well, I heard both sides of the debate. When it comes to Ms. Berry, I did ask her last board meeting a series of questions, and she gave a lot of answers. And also, I can see both sides' point of view. Let me say that let's all remember at one point, we only had one HR person before that, and that did not turn out well under previous boards, at least 3-4 boards before this one. One thing I could say is that my experience with Ms. Leslie is that she did come through the door doing a lot of things. And I do know that I think I heard Trustee Williams said that, the village, we do have HELL here. Well, Trustee Williams is right. It is HELL when it comes to a village that, when it came to coming from the dinosaur age up until now, when it comes to trying to get our human resource up together and up to par. I will say that Ms. Berry, I have seen Ms. Berry at the golf course several times since they have been open. I will say that I have seen Ms. Berry out and about in the wintertime when the snow was down. I do feel that at times, I think what Ms. Berry tries to do is that she tries to give the village manager a hand on some things. That's my observation. Whether someone called me a liar or not, I seen it. She tries to give her all to the village in certain things. So my vote will reflect that she did ask for 6 more months. I will say that I have seen her on Saturday and Sundays. I am not pleased with some things that has happened, but I think that when you try to give certain people an opportunity, it doesn't go well, and then you have to get rid of them. And in some cases, I think that she is learning how this village functions when it comes to hiring and some of the rules that are very old. So, Mr. Mayor, I just would like to say that when it comes down to it, that at the end of the day, I think we're going to have debates on both sides, but she didn't ask for a year, she asked for 6 months. I just asked that if we can get a chance to at least get the handbook, because the last time a handbook was supposed to be done, it was John Pate, and it never got to us. And to my knowledge, John Pate was almost finished or was finished with it. And you can imagine that was right in your very first years of your term. And so that's 6 years ago, So that's the only, the one thing I would like to see. Other than that, I will say that she is out and about. And I think that she's trying to justify the 67% raise based upon the hours she has been moving. But again, that was only from what my observation of where she is, on a Saturday and a Sunday. And, some other things that I have notated that she was doing that I think she is probably stretching herself out to try to help the village as much as possible. I yield my time.
All right, thank you, Trustee. Anything else? If not, we'll do a roll call, Madam Clerk.
No, wait, okay. Got it. Okay. Trustee Lewis.
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden. Trustee Folger.
Votes no.
Trustee Williams.
Votes aye.
I'm sorry, Trustee Thompson.
No.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor Rudin.
Both sides, Madam Clerk.
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
motion carries to approve.
All right, attached to your approval is a list of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on September 25th, 2024 through October 22nd, 2024. General Fund, $380,012.02. Road and Bridge, $5,082.09. Town Center Fund, $1,597.13. Capital Project Fund, $66,575. Tip 5, $1,790.50. Tip 7, $462.50. Payroll Fund, $3,297.79, with a grand total of $458.18 and no cents. Is there a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Moved by Lewis. Second by McFadden.
Question?
Wait a minute.
Go ahead, Trustee Thompson.
For the credit card bills, do you have all the receipts for the credit card bill? I see the statements, but the receipts.
I do have my credit card receipts.
Just yours?
Yes, only mine.
Okay, thank you.
Trustee Brooks.
Yeah, no, the question I have was more of John Kasparic. Just be prepared for me to begin to start asking the question. I understand that they handle the finance, but at some point, you know, we need to question of the amount of money that's going out each month. I'm telling you right now that when we hired John Kasparic, he was supposed to only make about $60,000 a year, and that's with someone sitting in the seat when it comes down to financing, and he was supposed to help reconcile and so forth. But, you know, we begin to see bills of $30,000, $20,000, you know, a month, if not more. And I mean, they begin to look like some attorney bills of the past, you know, twice a month. So I just want to comment that, yeah, I see it. And at some point, you know, I'm not the only one that's noticing this. I would like to get someone of the finance director, you know, in there. I know one person has left. Ms. Berry has a contract renewed. I'd ask that Ms. Scott make this a priority to deliver the message that we get somebody in here to be the finance director and have John Kasparic to go back to the original role that he was in, and that was the $60,000 contract that we voted right before Mayor Rudez came in. I yield my time on that.
Thank you, Trustee.
I have some questions.
Trustee Fulcher?
For Antero Group, again, Manager Scott, I still see that there's a new pay amounts, and I never received that information, so for that check number 112534, but it's only for the invoice 20190. The rest of them, I'm fine with.
So I did speak with Marlindra today regarding that, and we are recalculating his payment, so that check is not getting released.
Okay, so you're gonna, this one too? and-
Yeah, we're going to correct those, and I did speak with Eric from Antero, and I talked to Marlindra, so, yes.
Okay, thank you. The next one is Knickknacks. Check number 112589. There was no receipt for that. I didn't see a receipt.
I can include the receipt. I believe that was for uniform shirts for employees, including the Police and Fire Commission, but I can definitely include that.
Yeah, it said the Plan Commission.
Yep.
So, which is fine, but, so is all the commissions and committees getting shirts? I don't know what
They
these
should
are.
have shirts. Typically, the Planning Commission, the Fire and Police Commission, all those committees, they do typically get shirts. So
Okay,
some
is
of
it-
them have them, but we had to order, you know, some for some new people.
Yeah, I see that's the next thing, is the JCM uniforms. So is it a difference from Knickknacks to the JCM uniforms? Are they different type of shirts?
Yes. They are different type of shirts.
Okay, so invoice for JCM uniforms, there was 2 invoices, and it was for the one for the Police and Fire Commission Chair, and then it was another one for the Police and Fire Commission Chair. So it was like ordering like 3 shirts. Is that what we ordering? Because I don't even have 3 shirts.
So I believe that, I don't even, but I know that they did ask for extra shirts. They were paying for those.
Okay.
But the basic shirts, yes, we do cover those. But
So-
if they want any extra, they pay for them
So,
themselves.
right, the basic is fine, but it's 2 invoices for one with 1 shirt and another invoice with 2 shirts.
Yeah, because I believe he sits on more than one committee, I believe. I believe it's the,
No, it says for both. It says
Yeah.
for, both of them say for Police and Fire Commission. So if you look at the invoice,
yeah,
it
it's
says for
mistake.
both.
One is for the, yeah, but there's 2 different ones, but yes.
So it's 2 different,
Yes.
huh? I know, right, I know that V. Martin is for planning, but the R, let me make sure I get that right. Martin is for three. I know. I didn't want to say their name. Just if we could look at those receipts, it shows something different, that's all. It just looks like it's 3 shirts for the one person, it is 1 shirt for the other person. So I just wanted to make sure that if that what we're doing, we're getting shirts for everybody, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Next is the check number 112521. It was to Marlindra. What is all these travel expenses? Where does this come from? Where we getting to go to the golf course and to these little small trips to the post office? When do we do this?
No, that's not for that. That's because she went for the training as the deputy clerk.
No.
And it's,
That's separate. I'm talking about all of those travel expenses. It's a travel expense receipts, it's totaled up to $109.
okay, I'll review that if it's
It's
to
like,
go.
for
It was to go to the post office?
June through September. It was like the
I'll
post
correct that.
office and FedEx and to the golf club. To me, all of those travel expenses should not be incurred. No one else have to pay those. So that's check number 112521, but it's in a combination of her other travel expenses.
Okay, so I'll have that separated.
Thank you. And then the last thing for me, University Park.
check number again, I'm sorry,
Yeah. 112521. And it was a total of $109.21 that should be taken out. Because we don't do that for nobody else, right? I just want to make sure. Okay, so I didn't know why that was being presented. And for the last thing is the University Park Youth Athletic, check number 112616. We already issued a reimbursement check for him this year for this organization. And that was in March 26th of 2024. So no, this is for the organization reimbursement of the $6,000. So this is a separate, but they received the check already this year for that. They received a $6,000 check in March, and then now this is another check for $6,000. So it should be just check number 112616. Yeah, it's the same. So I went back, because I remember, like, I know we already issued a check for this already.
That's the youth.
So none of these are reimbursements?
This is a reimbursement, but they already received the reimbursement. So once you get the one reimbursement a year, that was it.
Was that last? Okay.
So this, so it was on, yes, it's in, so
Make
it
sure.
was on the board meeting, bills payable for March 26, 2024.
I feel like there was something with that. I can't remember.
2024.
But something happened. I don't know if the check out. Let me look into it.
So that's the, okay, so those are the. So those are the ones that I would like to pull. Thank you.
Could you
All right.
give me the numbers again? Since
Roll
you're asking questions. She's asking for these before. I just want to make sure I
Okay,
got
sure.
the numbers.
When you
down.
get finished, do a roll call, Madam Clerk. I'm waiting on you.
Okay. All the ones that you want to pull.
Okay, she said she's making an adjustment for Intero Group, but that was check number 12534. The Knicks-Knacks
Wait a
until I,
112534.
yes. Knicks-Knacks, because there was no receipt, 112589. Marlindra, 112521. And then the youth athletic was 112616. Correct. Thank you.
All right. All
Trustee Lewis,
Both sides.
Trustee McFadden. Both sides. Trustee Fulcher,
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson,
Votes no.
Trustee Williams,
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks,
Both sides to pay the bills over the phone.
and Mayor Rudez.
Vote aye to pay the bills. Thank you so much. That does it. All right. Now we'll proceed on with our general public comments. Give me 1 second. Let me find the sheet. Oh. Sonia Bell Jenkins. She had to exit stage, right? All right. Miss Melly.
Good evening, everybody. I am Miss Millie, and I'm still quite disturbed, very disturbed. What I'm disturbed about is the last meeting, after I got drugged out of here, I stayed outside and waited to see the trustees, because here's what happened, and I want to explain it to the residents. Here's what happened. This about the Park District is fraudulent. The mayor took two trustees, Trustee Karen and Trustee Janelle, and Trustee Janelle was the notary, and they went around and circulated a petition. They took that petition along with the ones we pay for, lawyer, and had a hearing. With the hearing, it was okayed then that the referendum can go on the ballot for the Park District. That's not fair. None of the other trustees knew anything about it. None of the residents in this village knew anything about it. I sure didn't know anything about it, and I hear everything. It is fraudulent for this mayor to take the two trustees. As I talked with the trustees outside, they said, we didn't know. We didn't know. We didn't know that. Well, I think maybe you did, because here's what I see, because I got that good vision. Here's what I see. How come when you went to a hearing, did you talk to the other trustees?
Ms. Morgan, we didn't go to a hearing.
All right, when you circulated the petition, when you notarized the petition, did you talk to another trustee about it? You see, I'm wondering why. Did you not talk to anybody? You see, that lets me know. When you don't say anything, that means you're hiding stuff. Joe Rudez is a habitual liar, and every time he lies, I'm going to tell you to stop pissing on us and tell us it's raining, because that's what you do. You lie so much. And then you had the mitigated gall to go on the first day of to the library, and you're up there trying to get people on the grounds, right there in the building, trying to get them to go for the Park District? No, you are a habitual liar. I don't believe nothing that you say, nothing that you do. I have tangible proof on everything, damn near, that you do. Trustees, have a little bit more sense. Talk with the other trustees. You don't have to gather and talk. And just know that when Joe takes you on these trips, that's his way to get you away from the village, so he can whisper sweet nothings in your ear and get you to be on his side. Because there's been so many big ticket items that has come through here. We're talking about Amazon. We're talking about Carvana. And how come y'all come back here, or some trustees come back here and already have made up their mind as to what they're going to already vote on? There's something wrong with that. Every time you do something, Joe, I'm going to bust you out. I most certainly am. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much for your comments, Ms. Morgan. God bless you and your family, and have a great evening.
So just keep
The
in
next
mind,
person will be Mary Trust.
Whenever I hear a lie, here go the umbrella, because you're pissing on me and telling me it's raining.
Okay.
I don't go for that. I don't want to smell like piss. Okay? Thank you.
Next person is Mary Trust, please.
I'll get you later, Gina. I'll get you later. I'll get you later. Miss Sanctimonious. Miss Sanctimonious.
All right, sure. Mrs. Morgan, you've exhausted your time. It's next person. Mrs. Mary Trust is at the podium now. And please, no one should be approaching the city council during session. And that's what we represent to the outside world. That's what the people see. That's horrible. That's horrible if that's what people see we look at. Miss Mary, this is horrible. I know they don't.
Good evening, everyone. Hold your tongue. You're supposed to be professional up here. Okay? The world is watching. She is a taxpayer. Oh. And this is not the church. It's not time for confession. I'm up here this evening. I just want to announce, I don't know if I announced this before, but the Phoenix Awards that the Community Block Club started last year is going to be awarded again this year. And this is an award where we're trying to motivate students who are not doing well and have some other problems, whatever, to rise up and try to improve themselves. And we give them instantaneous awards at the end of the school year. And we've tried and we've gotten cooperation from the school and the principals and the superintendents for the awards. And that's sponsored by the Community Block Club, which is a 501c3 organization. And I'm putting out this evening or tomorrow, definitely, the rest of the program for the year. So I'm coming up here telling you guys about this because I don't know, you're so busy with so many important things, and I don't know that you always read these things, so I'm going to make the announcement. We will be having the Christmas decoration, outside decorations again this year. We'll be having a first, second, and third. First prize is $100, second prize is $75, and the third prize is $50. And then we'll be having the ornament exchange. And then, of course, in 25, in February, we'll be having the Black History program again. Last year was very good, very rewarding. But that's about all I have for this evening.
All right, well, thank you, and make sure that we all have those dates, Ms. Trust.
Yeah, but everything that's done in the dark always comes to the light, my mother used to say.
Absolutely.
Keep those flies out of your buttermilk. They lay maggots.
Mrs. Truss, may I please have a Mrs. Truss, may I please have a copy of those dates, please, just when you have a chance?
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Sarah Boyd.
Good evening. The way Ms. Millie was dragged out of the last meeting is against everything this country stands for, and that is freedom of speech. That should have never happened. We have a democracy. not a dictatorship, a monarchy, or an oligarchy. You must show restraint when a resident expresses their dissatisfaction. It's not for you to call out the brown shirts, the police, to remove a resident from our meetings. You're here because it is a democracy. I'm a very unhappy resident. I feel that my community is being abused and misused by those who are at the helm of our government. My heart is broken because of promises made and promises broken. Here are a few. The business center in the town center, promises broke. The children's park never got its skate park, broken. We no longer have a pool, which you in 2021 said that you would pick that up and make sure we get it. Promise broken. Walking paths, no longer walkable. Promises broken. Enforcement of overnight parking. Promises broken. An anchor store, broken promise. What happened to the $125,000 to rehab Regal Farm, which you talked about in 2021? Promise broken. Was the entire $500,000 spent to restore Pine Lake? I don't know. What's been done about the burnt and dilapidated property in the community? We deserve a newsletter that speaks to good efforts being made on behalf of the homeowners and renters. Instead, we got old, outdated information. I know there's no shame about sending the resident old information, and the sad part about it, we had to foot the bill. I do not understand why we need $2 stores in the community. Leadership is continually undermining the community. The leadership never asks the resident what they want in the community. Instead, we are continually told that things that are happening after the fact. I feel there is no one in leadership that are really truly cheering for this community. I feel the leadership spend time pursuing deals and giving themselves the opportunity to pursue personal benefits. We were undermined with the deal you accepted from Aqua Water. Leadership totally disregarded what we wanted. Right now, I know the leadership is eking out the desire to have Chicago water and have no intentions of consulting with the resident. No one has asked the community whether they want Chicago water or presented any kind of feasibility study results that explain what the fiscal responsibility would be to the community.
That's your 3 minutes, Ms. Boyd. Thank you so much for your
You're
comments.
welcome. And I wanted to say, can you get a better situation going here with the acoustics in this place?
Ms. Boyd,
The sounds are constantly echoing.
It's always going to be like that.
Oh, you're not going to improve the center for us here?
Ms.
It would be a
Boyd.
great improvement for the residents.
Ms. Boyd, Ms. Boyd, could you please email me your report?
Email you this?
Yes. Thank you.
Jelena Radovic, Fanta.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Mr. Mayor, trustees, and University Park residents. Oh, you can't hear me. I'll lift this. I'll use my teaching voice. Is that better? All right. My name is Jelena Radovic Fanta. I am an anthropologist and a professor at Governor State University at the Anthropology and Sociology program. I'm reaching out to you because I'm carrying out a research project with my students looking at the effects of water contamination on residents in the community. And specifically, we want to learn about the lived experiences and the effects that it has had to this day regarding notions of health and wellness, trust, and sense of belonging in the community. So we want to invite you all to participate in this study. It would entail one-on-one interview between 30, 45 minutes, maybe 60 if there's a lot to share, to learn about your viewpoints, about your perspectives and your experiences with lead contamination and its lingering effects. All participation is anonymous. My students and I, we've all undergone certification and training for the ethics board from the compliance office. And your help in this study is greatly appreciated, and this has various objectives. So one, to visibilize the issues that have taken place and are still taking place. I've been reading and following the news about the water bill, so ongoing issues here. Also to understand your perspectives and viewpoints, right, which are multiple, and to foster also collaboration, which is kind of an underlying objective I have, between GovState, the community, and with our students, and many of whom are from here and have family members here. And I know there's various initiatives. There's also working with History Department and constructing a timeline. There's from different disciplines. So I'm happy to answer any questions. If you'd like to learn more about the project, have questions, or would like to participate, I'm going to hand this out. It has my contact information on it.
All right, that would be fine. That would be fine. You can leave anything with Ms. Neva right there, and she'll make sure everyone gets it. And thank you so much, and I'll be glad to participate. You've got one already in. Deborah J. Stroud.
She real tall. Okay. Good evening, Mayor, Board, those present, those viewing. Here I am once again talking about early voting. I can say on Monday and Tuesday, I know quite a few residents from our community, from surrounding community being Monique, have gone out to early vote. Governor State has 14 days, this Sunday and next Sunday evening. That gives 2 other days on the weekend that a person can go out and vote. And thank you for allowing me to have this put on the website regarding the hours. University Library, we've got 12 days of early voting. And I must emphasize, because I don't think I mentioned it before, if you need to change your address, if you need to change your name, as far as re-registering, you can do that and vote the same day. Okay? And I want to say, sorry I missed your event, Trustee Lewis. From those that I've spoken to, they enjoyed it, definitely enjoyed it. And Chris, I don't know what the status is since about 6 o'clock tonight, if you were able to get that signed. And first off, Chris, let me say, I thank you for at least endeavoring. I do, because I know it wasn't your job, but I'm just asking.
No, yes, the sign was ordered. I didn't wait to get a list of all the signs that I needed to order. That sign was ordered with Vernon and Moss, and I'm just waiting for it to come in. And once it does come in, it's scheduled to be installed.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, it'll be within that time frame for the early voting.
Yes,
I'm gonna
hopefully.
keep my fingers crossed.
Yes.
And for the residents that I know have gone to the library and Governor State to early vote, thank you, heartfelt thank you. Thank you, thank you. For those who have called me and asked me questions about it, I'm steering everybody to do that early vote. Please do not wait until Election Day. I know a senator who kept telling his son, go early vote, go early vote. And it turned out on Election Day, his son was in the hospital. He couldn't vote for his dad. So I don't want any of us to go through that, where we really end up missing a very, very, very historic election. I thank everybody for their attention. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Stroud. Thank you for all the hard work that you're doing in the community and the regions. Thank you so much.
It's heartfelt. Thank you for the thank you.
All right, and our last public comment would be Vernita Martin.
Hey, good evening, Mayor, trustees, and department heads. My name is Vernita Martin, and I just wanted to come up and just talk a little bit about my disappointment. Been a little disappointed in what I've been hearing about the Park District. Not the fact that a referendum is on the board or on the ballot, but that we have opposition for a park district. I've been in this community for about 15 years. The very first thing that I looked for was the park district. The first person that I met was Keely Childress, and taking I think we had step classes or something. In order for a community to grow, you have to grow it. You have to invest in it. I spend lots of money going to different communities, paying for non-resident fees to use their pools, use their amenities. I go to LA Fitness, all these places. I'm spending all my money. I'm spending gas money to get to these places. I refuse to spend money in Tinley Park. Tinley Park is rich enough. And because we don't have the amenities here, that's where we have to go and take our tax dollars. I want to bring my tax dollars home. I don't care if it costs me $80 a month, $80 a year. I don't care if it costs me $800. I know everybody's property taxes is not the same, so we're not all paying the same thing. Some of us will not pay anything because depending on if you're a senior, if you're a veteran with 70% or greater, they have tax exempts. So I'm not worried about that, but what I'm worried about is the growth and development of University Park. Bringing a park district to this community is going to be a great venture. There'll be more families that come here because we have something to offer. I'm not concerned about the politics, I'm concerned about the people. And we have to put people before politics. I would love to see a park district here. I am one of the persons who have been asking for one since I got here. I've asked every mayor that we've had since Al McCowan about a park district. And I hope that you all are not out here discouraging people about it because okay, that's your opinion, because we just levied for a library $90,000, a 15% increase in 2023. Nobody said a word. The school district continues to levy us. Nobody says a word. And our taxes are constantly going up. We're gonna pay for something or we're gonna perish. So I don't mind paying for a park district if it's gonna help us. The young lady was just talking about broken promises. The park district will help that. If you understand municipalities and you understand government, those things that you're talking about would go under a park district. My time is up. Thank you. Please vote yes for the referendum for a park district. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And that, and listen, let us have order. Let us, listen, we're going to have order in this room.
It's on the ballot. You cannot negotiate that. It's on the ballot. Okay, no. Everybody has said their vote. That's on the ballot.
Let's have a seat, all right? Let's have a seat.
Manager Scott.
Can I have quiet in the room, please? No, this isn't the way we're going to conduct business. Okay, so the public comment section is all over. Chris, good evening, sir. Do you have a report tonight?
You send it to.
If you want to just touch on it briefly, then you want to just email it to the clerk, please?
Yes.
She's already got it.
Let me say, all the board reports were sent to the board prior to this board meeting.
So you won't have to do one tonight then, because we already have it. Okay. Excuse me. I can't have this disruption in here.
Your boy is wrong. You ready to drag me? How come I get down on the damn floor? I am sick and tired of this joke. This joke being sloppy. I have been here 37 years. 37 years. And this place ain't never looked this damn nasty.
I'll give you my board report as far as for Public Works. Public Works has begun prepping for the winter season to ensure smooth operation. We have removed all speed bumps and materials. We have begun to service all winter vehicles and attachments, which are...
You just stop the vehicle too.
Let's stop all the debate in the audience. Let's please conduct yourself.
You need to go to jail. What?
So I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask for a motion for adjournment. May I have a motion for adjournment and a second?
Hold on.
If I'm not going to get the, hold tight. If I cannot conduct this meeting in the proper form, I will adjourn this meeting immediately. So either she's going to act right or we're going to leave.
Hold on, because I wanted to motion for executive session.
Well, this can't stop. Yeah, because this is just unacceptable. I will adjourn this meeting for this crazy behavior. Okay. Oh, that's Theo Brooks?
Yeah, but all this black.
I was wondering what that was. Chris, go ahead.
Good evening, board. Good evening, residents. Just to touch bases on what Public Works has accomplished for this month of October. We have begun prepping for the winter season to ensure smooth operation. We have removed all speed bumps and materials. We have begun to service all winter vehicles and attachments, which include plows, salt spreaders, and all the proper lighting. We have removed 162 used tires from our Public Works garage and disposed them at the Lockport Township Highway Department on October 1st for the annual tire disposal event. I have met with Homewood Disposal regarding establishing a plan to remove our broken TV pile located at our Public Works garage. Public Works has targeted Metro West lot and spent 2 entire days enhancing the property, which consisted of weed whacking and removal, brush trimming and garbage removal, and we are scheduled to enhance Metro East lot this week. Public Works is finalizing our branch pickup at the end of this month. I have ordered the proper light poles for the parkway across from Metro Station from Wisconsin Lighting Line, which is scheduled for delivery time of December of this year. I have met with Universal Lighting of America regarding inventory and future light pole orders as well as jobs. I have met with Intero Group regarding landscape review at Regal Farm, as well as discussion about the paving for Kings Road. That is basically what we have done for the month of October.
I've noticed, Director Vargas, that speed bumps have been taken up, and I assume that we're getting ready for the snow season, huh?
Yes, it's better to do it now rather than to wait last minute, especially with no time telling on the weather.
I appreciate the good work, Doc.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Mr. Ellis?
I would just like to say, it's better to vote early or vote on time, because last year my daughter went up, my wife went up to the church last year, and somebody got her name and address, and we had to go to Joliet in order to vote. So it does happen, No.
Thank you. Manager Scott?
Okay, in Chief Richard's absence, I'd like to read his report. Fire Prevention Month he will have hit all the area schools, including 2 in town, 2 daycares, GSU Family Center and daycare on 10/9, Playhouse Daycare on 10/10. They are scheduled to visit Coretta Scott King the week of October 21st. They have been awarded a grant in the amount of $23,000 for the purchase of AutoPulse, which is a chest compression assistance device. They currently have 2 in inventory, and now will be able to update the First Out ambulance with the latest version, and also now have a device on our spare and a 3rd ambulance. We are currently having testing process open and being advertised. The application period is open until October 23rd. The dates for CPR, which are Saturday, November 9th, daytime weekend class, and Thursday, November 14th, evening class. Next week, we will be announcing the registration process and location. Also, upcoming projects and events, public service announcement. We're preparing for the trunk or treat on October 26th. Spending include purchases made during the month and any purchases that need to be made. I'd also like to read into record the HR, so give me one moment, please. I need to just open this. HR board report is as follows. October update, onboarding, recruiting, Public Works, 1 position. We have open positions, Human Resources Manager, Finance Director, Assistant Golf Course Manager, Public Works. We are currently interviewing 2 for Human Resources, 1 pending for the golf course and 1 pending for Public Works. Hiring, we filled 2 positions for the golf course as well as Public Works. We also set up a annual mandatory harassment training. Also, we will be asking the elected officials to complete harassment training as well this year. We terminated one police officer, well, one termination or resignation was from a police officer as well as in code enforcement. We also conducted 2 exit interviews with the police officer and also with the individual from code enforcement. Performance evaluations with department directors completed, and she is preparing to submit them to me for review. 2025 insurance update enrollment sessions have been completed for staff. 2025 completed pending board approval. Preparation of letters to retirees regarding insurance Medicare. She's also continuing to work with issues with, as we have with FMLA, with people on FMLA, Workman's Comp 3 pending, and also labor relations. She spoke with Teamsters Vice President. There's no pending grievances. FOIA, work with attorney on completing FOIA letter for unanswered FOIA dated from August 2024. Correspondence with the Attorney General's office in order to respond to the FOIA request. Also, the Employee Policy and Procedure Manual Handbook, it is completed pending internal review. Just so the board is aware, I was going to speak to this. I'm currently reviewing the manual. It is completed. I'm just reviewing it to see if there's any changes or recommendations, and really just to view it in its entirety. I was given it in pieces, you know, but it's different when you look at it in its entirety. So it's pretty thick. It's probably 10 times the size of the former book, the one that John Pate was working to complete, and the original one from like early 80s. I also wanted to quickly just go over my board report. On Sunday, October 27th, the University Park Metro Electric line will be closed all day. I repeat, Sunday, October 27th. University Park Metro line for University Park will be closed. It will be closed all day due to scheduled track work between University Park and Richton Park. During the one-day closure, Metro Electric line riders who normally board trains at University Park will be required to use the Richton Park station. Trains will operate to and from Richton Park on their regular Sunday schedule. Electric line schedules are available on the Metro website at metro.com. I also have a letter from Metro that we will be posting that I did provide to the board. The RTA, Regional Transportation Authority, and the Village will be hosting a transit-oriented development special financing study workshop. In February 2023, as most of you know, University Park and the RTA approved a transit-oriented development plan for a half-mile area around the Metro train station in University Park. University Park and the RTA have teamed together again to study available financing tools that would allow the village to encourage commercial and residential development on the TOD site. This workshop provides the public information and input on the various financing tools available. Study workshop on Thursday, November 7th, 6 p.m. here at 90 Town Center. Please plan on coming to participate. And as most of you know, I've heard talk about Metro and how in the past there was plans approved. Most people know, but in government, if you don't do those plans within only so many years, I think it's generally about 4 or 5 years, it's null and void. You have to redo it all over again. So this is not the same Metro plan as before, so please come out and participate. Since transferring Midland bank account funds to Illinois funds, which the board approved, I think it was back in June, the village has earned for the months of July, August, and September $186,750.29, $188,405.37, and $177,287.46 respectively. So those are for each month, for a grand total of $552,443.12. Thank God we will be paying bills this winter. The 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020 TIF reports are completed. I repeat, the 2017, 2018, 2019, and 2020 TIF reports are completed. They have been signed by the clerk and the mayor. We will be sending them off hopefully this week to the state comptroller. The only thing we're missing now is the compliance letter from council. I did speak with Attorney Murphy, who has been working diligently with us to make sure that we got this completed. We recently had a meeting, the mayor, myself, we had a meeting with the state comptroller's office to discuss the challenges of providing an attachment C. For those in the public that don't know, it's a letter of compliance from council. Given the past questionable activity, the comptroller recognizes this is in no way a mark on this administration. Therefore, they will accept a letter of disclaimer, which they will accept, and they said once they will review, it will be considered closed and completed and not delinquent. It will be available for viewing on the comptroller's website once they review and post it. As such, due to the nature of the circumstances, we will have no force audit. That came straight from the comptroller.
Yes, it did.
So we're going to start working on now completing 21, 22, and 23, and I'm really hopeful that in the next several months we will be fully compliant. The golf course has taken in $14,089.94 this month so far. We have had one rental event which took place on Saturday, October 5th, and we have another one planned for this Sunday. Chris Mirabali and I are working through compiling information for several open items for the fiscal year 21. It's literally about 53 items that they're asking for us, and it's not as simple as items. It's a whole bunch of attachments and things that go with each thing. So we're continuing to work through the 21 audit. Also held a plan review meeting on October 16th with Antero and Public Works Director Chris Vargas and the sub-landscaper to go over the types of foliage being planted, the placement, and the long-term maintenance. Landscaping is taking place this week at Regal Farm. I have provided the board with an updated summary of the work performed. Also, I have here, and it was also put in my board packet, a picture and a diagram of the foliage. I also have in detail the type of specific plants that are going to be planted there. If anyone has any questions, there's boxwood, lilac, I can't even pronounce some of this, I'm not even going to pretend, hosta, rhododendron, and other beautiful foliage. The other thing is that I was present on October 1st for the fire alarm inspection at the golf course, and we met with the IT consultants to review the indoor camera solutions for the golf course as well as the 3 gas pumps. We also held a virtual meeting with representatives to discuss tweaking and implementation of the NBC Universal Golf Now software, which is the main software that all golf courses, premier golf courses throughout the country use. Met with Dr. Kara Congolese to discuss possibly renting a unit at the town center on behalf of the school district to supply a store that can be utilized by the community. Leslie and I are continuing to interview for positions, including not just the position she listed, but also chef, cook, public works, golf course, pro shop attendant, beverage cart attendant, and bartenders. We held meetings regarding the planning of the EV stations and the Seizure grant, which we were awarded in the amount of approximately $225,000. Held a meeting with Enterprise with Chief Mitchell regarding fleet validation. On October 17th, Mayor Rudez and I met with Mayor Curry, the village administrator, Terry Rainey, from Calumet Park to discuss partnering for next year's ICSC conference, which to promote our respective municipalities and aggressively recruiting businesses to the community. Mayor Rudez and I had a meeting with the potential solar farm in unincorporated Crete. Part of that plan includes lighting infrastructure and paving of Kings Road. Although that solar farm is not located in University Park, there are some infrastructure that is abutting us, and we did ask for certain concessions to be done, so we're still in talks with that. It includes lighting and paving. Those talks continue to be fluid. I have attached also for this board, they received it in the email. It shows the gravel section that is being proposed and what can be considered the most conservative type of scenario. So right now, if you drive down there, it's gravelly. It looks like you're on a roller coaster. So we're trying to work to have that smoothed out, and we're going to put asphalt aggregate. So these pictures have been included to the board so that you can reference what I've discussed. And thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Chief Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Village Board, department heads, and citizens both here and that are watching. Glad to be here. Thank you. The police departments continue to liaise with businesses and entities within the village to help them address issues of shrinkage and criminal behavior. We conducted chat with the chief, and we have chat with the chief coming up this Thursday here at 90 Town Center. From 5 to 7, I'll be here. If you have any questions, and remember, you can come and ask me anything about anything. I'll have an answer for you. preferably about, law enforcement here in University Park, but I'll try to answer anything about anything that you pose to me. I'd like to announce that Sergeant Jermaine Jones won a scholarship to Northwestern for staff and command through the South Suburban Association of Chiefs of Police. It's one of the benchmark, hallmark training courses for law enforcement in the United States, and we don't have to pay for it. That was a great thing. I was recently installed as treasurer for the South Suburban Association of Chiefs of Police. This is another thing ongoing. We've made several arrests this month for children breaking into cars, and I want to stress, please lock your car doors. Do not leave anything in your car that can be visible from outside the car. We have had rashes of cars being broken into. The majority of them have been where these young folks are walking by, pulling on car door handles, and then they're getting in. There's been some times when some windows have been broken, but the vast majority of the time, it's been because people are leaving their doors unlocked, and you'll be surprised of some of the things that are being left in the cars, including wallets, personal identification, financial information, checkbooks. Those stuff are still being left in the cars. Do not leave that stuff in your cars. Made arrests for gun offenses at in and around town, and upcoming, well, right now, the University Park Police Department, we're supporting breast cancer awareness. We're selling these patches to the community. They're $20 a piece, and proceeds go to breast cancer research. So please come purchase a patch. This is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this is a worthy cause. Please, it's just $20, and you get this nice pink patch that you get to keep forever. And lastly, the police department, we're still integrating the new cars in our fleet and rotating older cars out our fleet. And we will be starting soliciting donations of cash for the upcoming holiday season. As you know, the police department participates with Shop with a Cop, where we take deserving young people from underprivileged situations to go so they can have a nice Christmas. And this is through the South Suburban Association of Chiefs of Police. We take them. Last year we went to the Walmart. Sorry, brain locked up. I went to the Walmart and we took quite a few children, and the University Park Police Department will be sponsoring children from our community. And so to help do that, we are looking for donations. You know, if you got $5, we like that. $10 even better. $20. You know, you'd be helping a child from a needy family to have a decent Christmas. And that ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much, Chief. Madam Clerk.
What's the award Sergeant Jones got?
He received a scholarship from the South Suburban Associations of Chiefs of Police for Northwestern School of Staff and Command. Something we don't have to pay for.
Does he have to use his personal time to go?
This is training for the department, yes. Training for the department. It benefits the police department.
He has to use his own.
Oh, no, it's training time.
All right, well, thank you so much. Miss Naiva Jenkins, I won't forget you today.
Good evening, Mayor, Board, and Trustees. The Fall-Winter newsletter, it will be going to the printer this Friday. I have submitted, got everything that I need for the newsletter at this time. We've asked a few times, and we have everything we need for that to move that forward. Been working with Tim Robinson regarding the Veterans Day Committee, with the Veterans Day Committee and ceremony, and as well as working with Mose on the registration for actually not trunk or treat, but the cars needed for the trunk or treat. So you can't have a trunk or treat if you don't have cars. So on the website, there is a form, as well as at the table there's a form to register your car to be a part of the trunk or treat. Additionally, other events that I've been working on the marketing for is the Motown Classic car show Saturday edition, winter coat giveaway. We invited, well, she actually asked to be a part of the winter coat giveaway. Her name was Tori Woolbright. She was the Energy Efficiency Outreach Specialist for the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus. She attended the winter coat event. As well as we are still working, or I'm still working with ABI and Cablecast to move forward with the WUPC station. That is having a little bit more traction now, so that's moving along. And then working with All Right in the IT department for the refreshing the electronic sign for 698 Burnham Drive. That's a summary for now.
That was it, Neva, thank you. All right, Manager Scott, you left something out, and then
Yes,
we'll go with
before
Trustee Lewis.
everybody gets upset with me. So due to the overwhelming ask by the residents and also the trustees and the mayor, I think everyone has come to me at separate times and asked me to bring back and find money and funding for the snow removal program and the water relief. So it is going to be on a much smaller scale. We don't have COVID money, but because of the fact that we were able to get our finances on better footing, we've been able to save some money due to the interest rates. We are going to be having the water relief program. It will take place from November 1st, 2024, a hard stop, February 1st, 2025. We're not going to do $1,000. It's going to be $500 if your water is disconnected. Your water must be disconnected. If you have a past due bill, we're only paying the past due amount. So it is first come, first serve. If that money does run out, we happen to get everybody to apply. Please hurry. So Neva and I were actually finalizing the flyer today. So please spread the word. The water relief program is back. LAHEAP, I was shocked at how many people were outside, and it's unfortunate because people have been asking about water relief. So you asked, and this board answered. Also, the snow removal, that will be taking place from December 2nd of this year to February 28th of 2025. As we did this before, it was for seniors, handicapped, veterans. So please spread the word. Anyone who you know who is having issues and is not able to shovel their snow, we will be assisting that. So seniors, veterans, disabled, I think that's about it. So thank you.
All right, you're welcome, and you'll make sure that this is on the website and everything? Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sure the residents will be glad to hear about that. Trustee Thompson, comments from you tonight.
Hello, residents, board, mayor. I hope everyone is well. Early voting has started, and I hope all registered voters are going to do their civic duty and vote. Ask questions and be informed when you vote, especially on the referendum question about adding a new taxing body in the form of a park district that no one knew about, with the exception of a few people who signed the petition. There was no public discussion and no transparency. Now, let me share with you the definition of tax, although I think we all know what taxes are. As a noun, taxes are a compulsory contribution to state revenue levied by the government on workers' income and business profits, or added to the cost of some goods, services, and transactions. The second definition of a tax is a strain or a heavy demand. I don't know about you, but I pay enough taxes. And this park district idea, this is talking about my purse, my own purse. And like they said on that Malcolm X movie, somebody needs to get your hand out my pocket. Taxes never get lower, only higher. So I would love to have recreation in our village, but we don't have to tax residents to have recreation programs. We can reinstitute Parks and Recreation Department. That's a more cost-effective way to add activities. We need so many other things before we can start a park district. We need street repairs, police and fire officers, human services for all residents, especially veterans and seniors, We need better financial management and reporting, public works staff, more maintenance of village property, responsible and transparent finances, professional golf course management, and beautification of our village. Let's have a community workshop or a focus group where residents and trustees can plan a community center. And remember, the school district is planning a sportsplex, which is planned to be shared for all the in-district villages. There has to be another way to get the same thing done without placing a burden on residents. At the last meeting, the mayor said the library levied taxpayers to build a multi-purpose room. That is not true. I don't know if he misunderstood something, but the library did not increase taxes to build the room. We received a gift from a gentleman's will, and we continue to receive that money. If anyone wants to see the records, the library practices transparencies in its financial dealings. On a lighter note, New Hope Christian Community Church in Moni is going full speed ahead with the Senior Cafe, which runs Monday through Friday from 11 to 1. The cafe is open to seniors age 60 and over who live in University Park, Park Forest, Moni, Stager, Peatone, Beecher, and Creed. It's not only lunch, but it includes fun and interesting activities. Also, on October 31st, from 5 to 8, we are having a Fall Fest, which will be going on at the church. Bring your children for games, music, trunk or treat, photo booth, and more. Thank you, residents. 4700 Moni Road. And Moni.
All right, Trustee.
Perhaps.
Trustee Fulcher.
Good evening. I just had basically just a statement. I didn't have much to say because I know we want to move on to the next thing. I just want to make sure that everybody gets out and vote early. Early voting is very important, especially like what Mr. Ellis, Treasurer Ellis has said about going on the voting day where and something was happening with their address. So we want to make sure that we get all the votes in as possible. So vote for democracy and vote no for the referendum, Park District. Thank you.
Oh, great. Trustee McFadden. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I just want to make sure everybody goes out and early vote. Let's get the voting done before the election day. This week at Faith Movers Church is Sabbath week, and church will not be having a prayer call tomorrow morning, and they will not be having an unscripted tomorrow evening with pastor, but we will return on Sunday at 11 o'clock at 425 Exchange in University Park.
Thank you. Trustee Brooks.
Oh, I get a turn. Wow. Okay, let me say, first of all, thank you, Madam Clerk. I done heard everything you, the mayor, and my lender done said tonight, so now I know how it works to be a clerk.
It's not
okay.
easy.
I even heard the pen moving. And then, too, when you looking at it on TV, it looked like a kung fu movie. The mayor's hammering, and you don't hear no sound until later. So that was kind of cool. Anyway, I would like to thank everyone that came out tonight, despite the little disruption, but that is just democracy, everyone. I want to start off by saying there was a house fire at 620 Old Forge Lane, and the person who needs help is Angelisa Santiago. Her nickname is also Ocho. She is a Rich East baby of me and Karen. She played volleyball, she played basketball, she also contributed to baseball in the community. She has a GoFundMe page. They pretty much lost everything in the house. Residents came out, the police chief was there, the fire chief was there, and the house was on fire. She did not even know that the house was on fire with a newborn in the house, but she really does need help. For the GoFundMe page, please just give me a text at 708-921-4577. And what that would do is that I'll forward you the GoFundMe page, as she does really need help. New Hope Church and Karen, Trustee Thompson, everyone is donating as they are in a motel at this time. The next day, I would just like to say this was in reference to Aqua. On the back end, I will thank Mrs. Scott for something that she had did the week before. But however, Aqua is just, their customer service is horrible. I would like to say that across the street from 620, there was a huge sewer backup. But just turned out that there are some houses that want residents to pay attention to the sewer lines as well as the line service that the board, as well as other mailings that may have come to your home. It deals with if you have an issue. Now, what happened with the sewer backup was that Aqua gave the resident a hard time, so I dealt with that for about 3 days. What I did not know, but I would like to thank Ms. Trust, Mr. Dodd, and Mrs. Giddings, is that on that third day, when Aqua did not show up and the plumber did show up, they did pour a chemical down in the sewer of the resident's home, and Trustee Brooks got sick, lightheaded, and those residents indeed came to my aid. And one thing I have to say is that Ms. Truss, the Dodds, and Mrs. Giddings, one thing they said was that, thank you, Trustee, but sometimes, you need to sit down, you're working a lot, and you're not young anymore. So that reality is sitting with me as I'm not there tonight, as I'm a little bit under the weather for what has happened. A week before that, though, I thank you, Ms. Scott. I sent her an email, as well as the two trustees, Trustee Gina Williams and then Trustee Karen Lewis. Aqua Water will not have the water on for Miller Chapel because they don't turn on water unless two technicians are present. But here's the problem with that situation. It was for well over 3 weeks the water was not on. I emailed Ms. Scott that water was on by that Sunday. That was on a Friday. In reference to the Park District, on my last part of this report, I've been here since 1989. I know everyone say that when it comes to taxes and levies, I do care. I do make noise. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, that I just got through saying that not too long ago, that I do not want my face saying that I raised taxes when we spoke about the levy. So someone saying that it's not spoken is untrue. The Park and Rec Department went out in 2015. I say it again. The Park and Rec Department went out in 2015. I've been here since 1989. I want to remind everyone once again, when I first came into office, I want everyone to remember the operating dollar amount for this village was $9 million. The income was 7.5. We had to borrow money, folks, 1.5 in order to survive. And then the first year, village manager Ernestine Beck-Fulcom brought to the board $2.3 million that we had to borrow. Now, whether it was paid back went unanswered. So when someone mentions the name Lori Lightfoot, everyone gets all up and upset all about it. But my question come in is why Lori can't come in and tell you where the 2.3 went back, and nobody tell me that we paid it back. If we paid it back, that's fine. But let someone of a third party, not somebody of this board, not somebody who was elected and sat up there as a trustee, let somebody of a third party tell about it. At the end of the day, if we want a park district, let's call a special meeting by Friday and repeal that ordinance for what? A park district. That's all it takes. It doesn't take anything else. So until then, everyone please go out and vote. It's very important. Doesn't matter who you're voting for. Again, this is a democracy. And at the end of the day, our country is indeed, the democracy is online. And I think we know how important it is. So let's go out and make a choice what's best for your community. And with that, Madam Clerk, I yield my time. Also, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you so much. Trustee Williams?
Hello, everyone. Good to see everyone out and those that are still watching. I just want to say I thank God I had the most wonderful weekend. I went to Trustee Karen Lewis's cancer event, and when I tell you it was heart moving, the women that came in this room and gave their stories, it was something to behold because everyone knows someone that has passed away from cancer or has had cancer. And to hear those women talk about what they went through and how they came out on the other side, it was really uplifting. And believe it or not, Tim Robinson, who's over our Veterans Administration, his story was really compelling. He spoke of his grandmother and how close he was to her and how she had cancer. And it was the hardest thing in the world for him to do, to pray and ask God to take her home. I'm telling you, it was hardly a dry eye in the place. Karen shared her story, and McFadden, another heart-provoking story when she told us of her ordeal that she has, even though it may not be cancer, but it's still a health issue. And what I told them when asked to speak, I did lose an aunt to cancer. I had a brother, 2009, had prostate cancer. Glory be to God, he's still here with me. I'm still taking care of him. And I just want people to know that silence is a killer. If your body is telling you something, listen. Go to a doctor. Go somewhere and get help, because it's the worst thing in the world to get something like that, and then you're stage 4 or something, and it's a heartache. It's a heartache on the entire family to go through something like that. So I continue to encourage people, women especially, get those mammograms, see about yourself, make sure that you're checking on others, encourage other people to go. And men, we know you all don't like going, but you need to go, because prostate cancer is no joke either. And after leaving that event, I went to Coach Tutu's grand opening uptown. And when I tell you it was out of sight, it was fantastic. The music, the food trucks, everybody was out there having a good time, picnic tables, everybody's laughing, talking. The food was delicious. I'm telling you all, it was mouth-watering food. He's got like 8 different trucks out there, and it was just fantastic. I don't know his hours of operation, but I encourage everyone to support him. You know, he's putting back into the community, and it's nice because this is somewhere the Governor State students can cross over and go to. The Metro commuters can stop in, and then you may not feel like cooking. You can go up there and get your dinner. So that was also fantastic. The other thing that I worked on, as usual, is Aqua. Neva Jenkins can vouch for me. She and Marva give me calls on a regular basis. And even when they're not giving me calls, word of mouth. People have gotten my number, my name, and they call me. And I encourage Neva and them to give me any of those calls. Even Miss Scott has given me someone to reach out to. And these things are not done overnight. I had a lady, her water was cut off Friday, but thank God we got it cut on Monday. I had to work through the ICC. I had to get up to their legal department. Now I have a lady right now that's fighting with Aqua. She paid twice. She paid with her credit card and she paid with cash. Now they don't want to give her her refund. So again, I'm on the phone with them, and the call will continue tomorrow because I have another lead person that I will be talking to. And I'm so grateful for Manager Scott because I wanted that program to be brought back for the Aqua relief, because in this room every Tuesday for LIHEAP, they only offer gas and light assistance. They don't do LIWAP anymore. I talked to the supervisor over there at the Will County Community Concern. She said, Gina, we don't get funds anymore from the state for that. And Aqua, they don't play. Unlike ComEd and Nightcore, they'll give you a break. But Aqua, it could be 50 below, and they'll be at your house cutting that water off. So I'm so grateful that she's bringing the program back, and even though it may not be as great amount as it was, it's still a help. So I just want to encourage people, and I want to encourage people to vote. Vote your conscience. Your vote is your voice. I think that University Park, we do need recreation. We need something. And as I stood there for many years and fought, because we had a Parks and Rec that was a wreck. And there's people in this room that fought against me. And they know who I'm talking to. And the place, dilapidated, went down to the ground, animals, skeletons with fur. And no one said nothing, nothing. I signed up my children for I don't know how many programs, and guess what? Every time my money was refunded. Oh, we didn't get enough people. Oh, we didn't have this, we didn't have that. And I put a whole post on Nextdoor, community versus a park district. So you make up your mind, decide what you think is best, but let's not leave our children to nothing. They need something, so we need to. And even if we never get a pool, like I said, a water park, a splash pad, something for them. Because in the summertime, they have nothing. And the few that get jobs are not the younger kids that are without. So I just wish you all well, and everybody have a good week, and remember to vote.
All right, thank you so much for your great comments. Trustee Pink Lady Karen Lewis.
First, I want to say thank everyone who came out to the event. It was an event that was a tearjerker. It was the conversation of us talking about breast cancer and being silent in our fight. Many of us go through this disease. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I didn't want to tell people, but we had the discussion to open up to one another because we don't open up. So the conversation was to talk about it, and let's have a conversation among women and men to have a first conversation to say, yeah, I was going through this. And when we opened up the room, it was a tearjerker. Thanks everyone to come out. I gave them all nice gifts. We took nice pictures. And Tim Robinson was the only male beside Mr. Roosevelt, he had to leave, in the room who gave a story. Thank you, Ms. Martin and Ms. Barbara for assisting. I want to say they did a great job helping me get my first discussion about breast cancer because it's not talked about in the black community. Anything regarding our health is taboo. It's not said. We're scared to say. Open up, give the conversation with your people because people are out here dying every day, and it's not an easy task to go through things by yourself. So the next thing I want to say, congratulations to Coach Tutu. His event was phenomenal. It was a nice uptown eats. People came out and supported, and the parking lot was filled as if we were going to catch the Metro train. That's what I want to say. It was packed. Congratulations on that. Also, I want to say Trunk or Treat is Saturday, October 26th, 3:30 to 6:30. Come on out. Also, we need people to register for Trunk or Treat. Call the number 708-295-0812. Veterans Committee, Veterans Day, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard. Come out and join the Veterans Committee Saturday, November the 9th, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. University Park Golf Course, 3520 Crawford Avenue, University Park, Illinois. University Park, your community counts. Will County Development, the county is currently seeking input for the 2025 to 2029 consolidated plan. Projects and programs are funded when they align with needs and goals to identify the consolidated plan. Community input is gathered every 5 years for residents, stakeholders, government leaders to help guide the spending for the federal government. This is October 23rd. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Yes. Yes, it's that bad. Also, get out the vote. We have to think about our residents and everyone. I know everybody's on the side, like Ms. Gina said, Parks and Rec was a wreck. We don't have anything. The Lions were playing in the rain. Them kids didn't have anywhere to go. And they were outside playing and doing what they need to do football. They don't have a facility to go to. So I'm asking all the residents, it's a democracy, get out and vote. Get in there and do what you need to do. That's the end of my report.
Well, thank you so much for your comments, Trustee Lewis. And I'll try to be as brief as possible, but I want to be as factual as possible. And when it comes to the Park District, call Mayor Joe Rudez what you want to call him. Is what I answer to is what's important. So what I will say, yes, I took the initiative to work with a grassroots group of community members, because that's one thing that was extremely important to me, because I've heard some of the opposition from my board members here say no, no, no. Well, I don't say no. What I chose to do is get it on the ballot so I can give the opportunity to give the public an informed choice to make. Let the public have an opportunity and let them be informed on what the Park District is. See, me, I don't want to silence them and just say no what they don't want. Me, I'm going to do what's necessary as your mayor, whether they like it or not, whether I stand in the gap or not. I'm going to always do what's right in this community that I serve. I'm the longest sitting public official in the history of this village at University Park, and the most productive mayor. And well, outside of you, Madam Clerk. Outside of you, Madam Clerk. All right. But at the end of the doggone day, I don't want to silence the people's vote. That's why I did the grassroots thing and got it to public referendum. It appears that my colleagues just want to say no because they want to say no. But me, I want to get the people the opportunity to be informed. I want the people to be informed and make the best decision that they possibly can. A little fact of the matter is that a senior citizen with a senior freeze will not get a tax increase. A veteran with a 70% disability will definitely not get a tax increase. There are also so many other exemptions that apply. But just for myself, and I can only speak for myself, I'm a taxpaying resident of multiple properties here in University Park, and I'll tell you one thing, I don't hesitate to invest in the communities that I serve. So when I say that, when it comes down to the numbers, it's about $12.91, and I'll round it out to $13 a month, which would probably come out to $156. But the thing is that if this wasn't on the ballot, I would have silenced the taxpayers' voices. I gave you guys an option, and I'm going to give you the best information, the best factual information, so you can make the most informed decision when it comes to our park district. When you do this park district, you know what it does? It alleviates some of the pressure on our municipality. Let's say, for instance, Mr. Vargas, short-staffed, he has to maintain the parks, the tot lots, every other thing out here in the Pine Lake and all these other things, which in reality, those things would really be under the umbrella of a park district. In reality, those are the things that, oh, one second. You know what, residents? Listen, let me just say this. When you see our former mayor, when you say this lady that's always at the board meeting, that's getting thrown out the meetings, and when you see a former trustee knocking at your door, misleading you, telling you lies and telling you things of deceit, do your homework. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me at my private number, which is not going to be private anymore, which will be 708-323-9668. Don't be afraid to step outside the box and do something different. Isn't it time that we reinvest into our communities? Isn't it time that we have something for ourselves? It's not the Flintstones no more. We're transitioning to the Jetson generation. And absolutely, we must do it. So I'm asking you, as your mayor, for those residents who support leadership, I'm asking you for your support by going to that ballot, turning that ballot over and looking on the back and saying yes to a park district. And residents, if you're tired of having nothing, then just say yes to a park district. It will work out. Trust and believe. We've come a long way. We've got a long way to go. But I tell you what, we're a lot better off now than we were a long time ago. And those are my closing comments. Thank you so much for your attendance tonight. I'm going to ask for a motion for adjournment. I'm going to have a quick executive session.
We got a motion for
Hey,
it.
one second. I know the process. So we're going to have probably a quick executive session if the majority of the board concurs to that. And I'd like to wish everybody out there a happy Breast Cancer Month. It was very important for Trustee Lewis and all the ladies to just come out and express themselves about the horrible travesties of cancer. And I know what I've learned from you, Trustee Lewis, is I'm going to do the same thing with the men's group, because it seems like we are the ones who don't like to go to the doctor, who don't like to get themselves checked out. Me personally, I do, because I want to live. I've got a lot of people depending on me, and life is important.
Yes, sir. Trustee Brooks.
And then the last thing I'll say, as I close out my comments, I just pretty much said as much as I want to say. University Park is positioned idealistically, and don't let the people knocking at your doors fray you away from your taxes, because this is a prime example of gentrification. People want University Park. They want people to move out of University Park. They know our land is valuable. They know our ingress and egress is valuable. They know the university is valuable. They know the metro station is valuable. They know the amenities that we have with 2 golf courses and the largest industrial park in the state of Illinois. Don't you think that they want to bring division into our community so they can come in here and captivate and have this beautiful community? I won't allow that, because we're going to continue to move forward. A 3rd airport coming down the road, 10 minutes from University Park. So residents, for progress, it's about progress for people, and it's doing some things that may be a little out the ordinary, but at the end of the day, it's the best thing for the community. So we're praying for the next generation. Like this young lady here. It's not my job to sit here and be the mayor all the time, but these trustees to be the trustees all the time. If we do not plan and prepare the next generation for leadership, where will we go from here? With that said, I'm going to ask for a motion for an executive session. We will not reconvene tonight.
So moved.
And we will be going into executive session for the purpose of litigation and update.
So moved.
Oh, wait 1 second.
Oh.
Okay, one second, because I don't want to be offensive to anybody, and I did not give my city clerk an opportunity to make her comments, but she has declined to make her comments. So I want to publicly say, I apologize, charge it to the head and not to my heart. Okay.
Just want to quickly say to everybody, your vote, your voice. Vote November 5th. Let your voice be heard, and remember, you can register and vote at your polling place on the same date for those people who have failed to register to vote.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Madam Clerk. So there's a motion.
By who?
Trustee Thompson, second by McFadden. All in favor? Aye. All opposed by the same sign? None. We're going to have a brief 5-minute break. We're going to executive session. After we come out of executive session, we will be exiting the building, because we will not reconvene this evening. Thank you so much for your participation and your attendance tonight.
Trustee Brooks, will you be holding on, or you want me to call you back?
I'll